All right, all right, all right. Back for another discussion out of my book, Cocktail Conversations by the Controversial Counselor, joined by Herb Lewis, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, David Glover, Controversial Counselor, for a chance to win the $50 gift card drawing on Friday, February 5th, tomorrow at 9 p.m. So tonight we're going to discuss a situation where you know how in this day of the social media, the different chat lines, dating sites, sometimes people get caught out there. And I think that's what happened with my man Charles. He got caught out there, caught sleeping. You know, his wife had a routine. Well, I'm going to read the scenario in a minute. Um, in fact, let me jump into that right now. It's called Chat Line. Charles worked 3 to 11 at General Motors, and it was typical for him to come in the house, stop in the bedroom, and kiss his wife Ellen on the forehead while she was sleeping. He would head to the kitchen, warm up his dinner, grab a cold Corona, and head down to his man cave in the basement. He would get caught up with the world of sports on ESPN and maybe just check out a late night game, depending on what night it was during the week. Charles was also a frequent visitor of the Tango chat line, where he had a membership. He loved to browse the line and connect with different women all over. This particular night, he decided to connect live with this particular woman. During the conversation, they shared sexual pleasantries, which led him to moan and groan. His wife, Ellen, happened to wake up this particular night and walk to the top of the stairs and overheard Charles in a state of total bliss. Should Ellen confront him or should she take her ass back to bed? Do you consider this being unfaithful? Mm, mm, mm. Shout out to Gavin on here, my mystery supporter, the Facebook user. You know who you are. And what's good, Herb, man, on the Thursday night up in here?
No, just count down to the big game, man. Ain't much else going on right now, other than uh, putting some plans together for the long term. And, that's about it. Trying to figure out if the world is going to destroy itself, or we just going to have a different perspective on some things in this country and abroad. So that's about it. Ain't much else. Ain't much going on but the rent.
All right, we got Gavin said creepy. I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about Charles being creepy. Latoya, good evening. The mystery Facebook user said good night for 500. Don't know what you actually mean by that, but I'll take it. So, Herb, man, let me ask you something. Why would a man, hardworking man, with a woman in the house, come home, settle in, give her a little typical kiss on the frontal lobe. Obviously she makes sure he has a nice dinner when he gets home. Why would he get on the chat line? Like, what's good with that, man? Why would he do that when he got the world right there in front of him?
The funny thing about relationships and appearances, the old adage, everything that glitters isn't gold, comes to mind. Now, from an outward perspective, it seems as if everything is going good. He has a loyal, faithful companion. He's getting his needs met. Everything seems to be going well. But it's kind of like a body that's deficient of vitamin or mineral. And when you pull back that layer, it's only when you actually see what's really going on. So the question we have to ask is, what is he deficient in that is causing him to seek an external connection? That is $1 million question. Because I know most guys, at least most of the guys that I know and associate, generally, if they have everything that they need in a wife, girlfriend, or whatever the case is, they're not seeking it somewhere else. So the question becomes, what is she not doing that he's getting on this chat line? Is it attention? Is it some dark side of him that he is able to feed that she doesn't know anything about, or that she is unable or unwilling to feed? That's the bigger question. And I think that answer is yes. He's finding an outlet for something that she's either unwilling or unable to meet on that chat line.
Interesting. Rebecca, how you doing?
I'm good, Sweet Pea. How are you?
I'm all right. Might need to mute your background television show. I know we just being bossy. Can't even do two things. I know you heard what Herb said.
Yeah.
And I seen your eyes roll back in your head, and I already know what part he said that kind of like, here we go again.
He just hate women. You can just tell. He just hate us. Blame us for every damn thing. Maybe he's just a fucking dog. Maybe it's just that he's just a dog. So, he might not be deficient in anything. She might not be deficient in anything. Maybe he just ain't shit.
Hold on, wait a minute. See, this is where we get into that selective hearing thing that you have.
I don't have selective hearing. I have very good hearing.
Sure you do. Because when did I say that she was deficient?
I didn't say she was deficient in anything. I never said that you said that. That was my statement. That maybe he's just a dog. Maybe he's not deficient in anything. And maybe she isn't either. What you said is maybe there was something she was unwilling to do or could not do. That could be a possibility. But I didn't say you said that. That was my statement. So maybe you have selective hearing.
No, it's possible I misunderstood something.
Yeah, you did.
No.
But it might not be anything wrong with the relationship per se. Maybe he's just that type of man that he needs, more than one woman. Maybe he was bored and, wanted to hear, a sexier voice other than his wife. Maybe he looks at his wife in a different light than, that lady in the streets, whore in the sheets type, thing that some people like. Or maybe he just ain't shit.
No, it
the
did.
Madonna complex. So no, that's a different aspect. I won't touch on that right now.
I mean, I'm just saying, some guys are like that. They when their wife gets pregnant, they just look at them in a whole different way because they carrying a baby. Or when they single and they courting them and she's wearing a short dress, he see her in a different way. And once he marries her, he sees her like his mom. I don't know, but sometimes people just see you in a different light.
But no, it's called the Madonna whore complex, and you're correct.
Yeah, so every man and every woman can't get with that. Some women are uptight and they just can't see themselves, talking about hit it, Big Daddy, in the bedroom, because they just ain't built that way. You know what I'm saying? They can't see themselves saying that. They might want to, but they really can't. And, I mean, it could be a great number of things why he's doing it. I think it's unacceptable, but
Let me read this comment. It said this scenario goes both ways. Maybe the spouse is whack sexually, but in every other area, he is great. So that could be her outlet.
There's a lot of possibilities with this scenario. It could be good or bad. Maybe they swingers and we don't know it.
Well, let me so we already know what the issue is. Let me tell you from some of the perspectives that were said about this. They said Ellen should go downstairs and confront Charles and ask him, is there a reason he needs to do that over the phone? Maybe Charles is no longer physically attracted to Ellen. That's what someone else said. If sex is a part of their marriage, then something has to be worked out for Ellen to take care of Charles' needs. Or maybe Charles simply likes a variety of ways to get off, and Ellen needs to accept it. Mm. Here's some background knowledge of Charles. Charles is an undercover freak.
You could have just said that straight out the back. It would have made a whole lot more sense.
And this is what he likes to do. Hence, why do you think he has a membership to Tango Chatline? He may feel like he makes good money and he will do what he wants to do. Here's some actions that could come out of this particular situation. In our reality, Ellen may not do anything but go back to bed like she does every night and get in where she fits in. Sad, but this may be the case. Charles is the breadwinner, so Ellen eats her humble pie and waits her turn. Wow. Consequences out of this. Eventually, Charles will meet someone local on the chat line, and instead of the phone one-on-one conversations, he will be meeting with someone after work while telling Ellen he will be working overtime. So instead of coming in after 11 p.m., he will be rolling in after 7 a.m. in the morning. All right. So I added a couple more layers to it. So, hey, have at it.
I mean, if he's really, it's established he's an undercover freak, and Ellen must not be, because that would be me on the other end of the phone. If she ain't about that life, that's definitely a conversation. Unless she really doesn't care, she loves him enough where she's willing to let somebody else meet those needs, like Herb said, that she's unwilling or cannot meet. That statement now makes a lot more sense, knowing the type of man that he is. But I'm sure he didn't keep it hidden from her, before they got married, unless that's the next layer. So she knew, and so did he. So I'm trying to figure out how they ended up getting married anyway, considering sex is a huge part of a relationship, let alone a marriage.
So what do you think about the part that, because he makes good money and kind of has that attitude, like I do what I want to do. I'm the breadwinner, and hey,
Again, money makes the world go around. Some people depend on that. Maybe she made good money too, and maybe she doesn't, and she's dependent on that, so she's willing to sacrifice, I guess, her dignity, in order to stay comfortable. Me personally, I make good money, so I wouldn't have to tolerate that shit. Nor would I tolerate that shit. But I'm pretty open minded. I wouldn't care if my boyfriend or my husband went to the strip club. It wouldn't bother me one bit.
So let me ask you this, Rebecca. If that was you in that situation, because typically you sleep when he come in, so this particular night you just happen to get up, like, oh, let me just go downstairs. You get to the top of the stairs and you hear him having sexual self pleasures.
I'm going in.
Huh?
you already know. I'm going in blazing.
Like how? What would you say? What would you say?
I mean, there's not much to be said. You kind of know. I mean, asking the stupid question, what are you doing? Although that's what everybody's gonna say. What are you doing? But now you'd have to get up and get out.
Get up and get out?
You'd have to get up and get the fuck out. And
the house?
Yes.
Based on him masturbating?
Nah. Because if he wanted my help, he'd have stopped at the bedroom first before he got there. So that's all I'm saying. And and again, some women ain't cut for that. I think that if I were married, I would be inclined to try anything once with my husband, so long as it didn't cause me any physical pain. But again, everybody ain't cut for that. But cheating, We ain't doing that shit. Now, I'm pretty open-minded, but we ain't doing that shit. So, yeah, you got to go.
So you view that as cheating some fantasy
Yeah,
woman
come on now.
online that he's talking to? You
Yeah.
consider that cheating?
Yeah, hell yeah. Considering for a man to get off, it can't just be me and you sitting here having this conversation, and it's exciting you to the point where, you know, you go to the next level. The conversation has to be intimate or nasty enough to make him excited to want to groan. So yeah, that's cheating,
Would you
my
be
nigga.
jealous?
That's my job.
Would you be would you be jealous?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
I respect your honesty, because you have some women
yeah.
that say they wouldn't be jealous. They wouldn't.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely. He'd be lucky if he didn't get hit with something, you know, on my way in, you know, and you know, like I tell most people, feel blessed that I'm a nurse. I can take care of you after I knock you the fuck out. But you know, yeah, nah, that's, to me, that's cheating. We ain't doing that shit.
The irony of that statement is, isn't she always the one that's talking about men being physically violent? I'm just saying.
I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I'm 5'3" and 122 pounds soaking wet. I'm not in the mindset of just running up on people for no particular reason. But you're talking about my husband. You promised to love, honor, and cherish me, take care of me, just like I did for you. And you got your ass up on the phone talking about, yeah, right there. Nah, hell nah. You fixing to get smacked in the head with a frying pan, a lamp, something.
Damn, all that.
Yeah, I might throw some hot water on your ass just to break it up, like how they do dogs when they scream. Yeah, fuck you doing? Yeah,
man,
try it now. Try it right now, and don't take your ass to sleep.
Oh,
don't take your ass to sleep.
It's that bad.
But yeah, that's cheating. If I'm devoted to you and you're devoted to me, and again, I can only speak for me, you should be able to come to me and say, you know, I need you to put on a blonde wig and pretend like you Hillary, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm Bill.
Hillary Clinton.
You know, I'm just saying, let's set this shit off.
I could think of other people you could be than Hillary Clinton.
Okay, whoever, Barack and Shell, you know, whatever. We should be able to have them conversations. And if I'm just not about that life, if it makes me so uncomfortable to do those things with you, my first thought wouldn't be to turn to somebody else, because I married you. So I must love you for more than, you know, what you doing for me in the bed. We would just have to have some more discussions about what I do like, what he likes, and let's try to find some common ground. But you know, yeah, you'd have to get out. We know we're not cheating up in here. We are not cheating. I'm not gonna cheat, so you're not neither. So if that's what you got to do, live your best life. You just have to live it away from me.
All right, Latoya, what's good? How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? Remember how we had that conversation about, you know, those emotional relationships? Well, this is how that shit gets started. He just playing around on the phone. And then, of course, eventually it's going to turn into, hey, let's meet up. Let's go have dinner. Let's go have lunch. Let's play around. My wife don't know. See, I'm the type of person, I hear my husband moaning and groaning, I'm going to walk in there and sit down and watch. I'm going to pull up a chair. Entertain me. Let me take some notes, because obviously I'm slipping somewhere. So let me figure it out.
Oh, hell no.
What if this woman was way across the country somewhere and she was no threat, no harm to you, and you know he ain't about to, he don't travel like that, he ain't going nowhere, and I know she ain't coming here. Would that make a difference?
But what if it's a chat line? Yeah, and if it's a chat line, he could potentially find somebody local, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just chat line. So yeah, and I'm not going searching for her anyway. I'm searching for him. Yeah, fuck that shit.
You sound like my grandma.
I'm just
you can always find him.
You always got those women when their men are cheating, they want to go fight the other chick. You know, nah, me and you. Yeah, I don't know her.
I'm gonna beat you right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, fuck her. We went to the.
Now,
We
I ain't
went
gonna
to
beat you. I'm gonna pack your shit. I might bleach some of it though as I'm packing it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, why women so quick to talk about bleaching somebody's clothes? What is that gonna solve?
Because men are really, very, very, very for
You
lack
just
of a
ain't
better
gonna have
term,
nothing
you
to
guys are
wear.
very serious about your looks. So
Okay.
one way to hurt you is to fuck up your appearance.
Yeah. Y'all didn't talk about hitting somebody with a skillet, bleaching clothes. Yeah, treacherous out here.
I
Nah,
know your weakness is
you
that
know,
hat collection. That shit would be trash.
Oh man, don't
Because
mess with
I'm
the
going for
hats.
what I know you value the most.
Don't mess
one
with
thing
the
about
hats.
men,
I'm
one
going
thing
for what
about
you
men
value
and
the
women
most.
cheating is now a woman can get over a man cheating. I can't, but a woman can do that. But a man, the thought of some dude running up in her, laying all up inside of her will
Men
make
are
a
not as
man's
women as
nuts
women.
draw up to his belly. Y'all can't deal with that shit.
Nope.
It make you sick to your stomach. You know, y'all be trying to burn a bitch in her bed, all types of stuff. Man, y'all can't handle that, you know, whatsoever. So the thought of, you know, a woman smacking you in the head with a frying pan, that's nothing compared to what a man would do if he found his woman cheating. Y'all can't handle that shit.
What you think about that, Herb? Saying we can't handle it.
You know you
They
can't.
y'all
You
can't
know
handle
y'all
it.
can't.
Y'all
You
can't.
know y'all
How
can't.
many
It may
times
make
have
y'all
we
sick on the
heard
inside.
stories of a man throwing lye in a woman's face and doing all this crazy stuff? You finding chicks handcuffing trunks and stuff like that.
You
Like,
know, it'll shut up the whole
just
family
saying.
and shit. You know, yeah, men can't. Y'all, oh no. The
Well,
thought of
we
your
can
woman laying down with her legs wide open, back arched, talking
we
about, yeah,
we
no.
we can tell who watches daytime TV at any time and who doesn't.
I don't watch daytime TV. I got a
I
job.
don't because I got a
I'm out here
job.
saving lives.
As,
So
as I said, we can tell who does. The Maury Povich show is filled with thousands of men who have had paternity tests come back negative to the child being theirs, and nearly one of them has laid a hand on a woman.
they was on national TV. Hello.
I am
Pretty
speaking.
much.
I did not
Hello.
interrupt you.
You ain't gonna choke
They
I
was
did
on
nobody
not,
out.
not
national TV.
interrupt either one of you.
Say what now?
I have the floor. Quiet.
So
There should be a please at the end of
Quiet.
that.
you don't be
Whatever.
telling nobody to be quiet.
Pretty
Ain't
much.
Quiet.
nobody damn
Quiet,
daddy.
This is
please.
why. This is half the
You ain't
reason why
exercise
we
your
speak
manners.
and y'all only get half the scenario.
We got the
Because
scenario. He
y'all,
told it to us.
but you're not hearing what I'm saying. Y'all making these accusations that men do this and that, and you have no proof.
Okay.
Here
That's
y'all
fine. It's
talking.
You
called
you
watch
do
the
the same
news.
shit, Herb. You always throwing up
When
something
have
that
I
you
made a
ain't. You
statement
ain't
that
no
I can't
woman.
get stories
Shut
to
up.
corroborate?
Whatever.
I can go pull up. As a matter of fact, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson talks about intimate partner violence, where women are the aggressors more than men.
Okay.
But y'all don't adhere to this type of information because it debunks your narrative.
And shut up.
This
And
is
it
why
don't
y'all
debunk
protest when
shit.
I speak,
It don't
because I
debunk a
know the
damn
story to
thing.
back my
It
position.
don't.
Y'all
Yeah, men
can't do
have
that.
been beating women for centuries. Fuck are you talking
Pretty
about?
much. Women have
Shut
just
up.
started fighting back within the last few decades.
Says
Listen to
who?
some white man talking about how more women beat up on men than men beat up
And
on women. Get the
Dr.
fuck
T.
out of here
Hassan
with that
Johnson is
shit.
not white. He's black.
Whatever. Listening to him. That's why y'all
But
where you
see, this
are.
is the problem.
Women
See,
beat up on men.
y'all want to attack the messenger, but y'all want to leave the message alone because you can't debunk it.
Let,
I
let me
can
add, let,
debunk it.
let me add to
Already
that. Let me
have.
let me add to that piece about and I think depending on the man's status of the job, may be how he may respond back. I think some guys, if he got a decent quality job, even though he might just take it, might just eat it, whatever. Like, okay, I know if I put my hands on her, it could get ugly. I don't want this to have no ramifications on my livelihood. But then you have some guys that say, shit, it's fight or flight. Like, it don't matter. They just, you might as well pack your lunch. Y'all about to go at it. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. And then it could be also, we all know, upbringing and stuff like that. values, but sometimes like that, you pulling out skillets and all that stuff, people feel like, oh, I got to defend myself. Yeah, I can carry on. I didn't tell y'all to be. Y'all can carry on.
It's just the point that we have to consistently hear how men abuse women physically.
Well,
But
you
here
don't
they
consistently have to hear that.
is that not what you two were talking about?
Yeah, we don't talk about this on every show, so you don't consistently have to hear about it. But what we do have to consistently hear about is how you just dog women in general. How about that?
And how we like the most
consistently. You ain't got nothing nice to say about
emotional,
period.
Abusive, aggressive creatures on this planet every damn week.
Nice to say. Speaking about stories and having something bad to say are not the same thing. See, this is the problem that we have with a lot of stuff. Is women always equate a story with something bad.
You tell a bad story. We don't equate shit with shit.
Let me change this whole scenario up.
Yeah, funny.
Name a black movie. Name a movie. Never mind black. Name a movie that's been centered on a man actually doing well without abusing somebody.
Say that again.
Name a movie that has been centered on a man doing well and not abusing somebody.
Tons. What you call it? Denzel Washington did a movie. What, the one where his son was that Denzel Washington and his son needed a transplant?
John Q.
Yeah, he didn't abuse his wife. They were wholeheartedly in love.
And Good Deeds with Tyler Perry. He actually helped out his employees. He didn't abuse anybody.
Because he effeminizes black men. So I don't watch anything Tyler Perry does.
You said name a movie. I named a movie.
Well, yeah, you said name a movie. We named one. So
that's fine. But my point is this. If I had sat up here and said what you guys said, you would be talking about how I only talk about stuff that demonizes women or where men can beat up on women. I don't do that. The scenarios that we talk about are real life scenarios. So anything that I bring to you is something I have witnessed.
Okay, and we've all said he ain't shit. So, I mean,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Say that.
David asked where I came up with scenarios. I'll tell him.
Okay. Again, we said he wasn't shit, or we discussed how, it could be him, it could be her, whatever. I said I wouldn't tolerate cheating. She says she might take a note. And what?
Who said they was going to hit somebody with a skillet? A lamp?
I did. I said I wouldn't tolerate it.
Okay, but if a man had said that, we'd have a problem.
I wouldn't have a problem.
That would just show what kind of man he is.
And don't get me wrong, so let me rephrase this or apologize. I'm not saying women don't commit domestic violence. What I said was, if men have a hard time dealing with their woman cheating than we do, a woman is more apt to forgive than a man. Y'all will walk the fuck away. Y'all ain't having it. So that's what I said, which led to
that's
whatever.
Why I made the statement
about
saying
that women don't hit men, because I just said I'd smack you in the back of your head, if it were me. So I'm not gonna say that, but you came back and said more women commit domestic violence according to whoever this black man's book you were reading or whatever it was you got this information from. And I disagree with that, because I feel like men have been beating women since the beginning of damn time.
I think men call the cops more than women do. That's for sure.
A man's not going to call a cop on a woman because they find it embarrassing.
But why do you think that is?
Why? What is?
Why do you think men call the police more often than women?
I don't think men do. Or maybe because they don't want to hit her back.
I say they do, because for him to say that women are the aggressors more, that just goes to prove the point that not as many women are reporting domestic violence, which is a fact. Not every woman reports domestic violence, and then that's how these women end up dead, and people be like, "Oh my God, what happened? Like what drove him to kill her? He was whooping her ass all along. This time he just took it too far, and now she dead."
And how many men want to admit that the black
Because
eye
as Rebecca said, women are quick to forgive. Men are not as easy, not as forgiving about.
Which is what I was saying. Y'all
have
low tolerance.
It is a false statement. And what I was saying was this. If y'all watch more daytime television, you will see the amount of men that stay with women who have strayed in their marriage or their relationship, has conceived a child with another man, and they stay. Y'all don't want to listen to that narrative because it goes against what you feel.
No, it don't.
No, those are outliers.
No,
because I promise you that does not happen that often. That is some serious love for a man to stay. Because most men be like,
are you staying if your woman cheats? Are you staying?
When you say most men, where are your statistics?
Okay, are you staying? Are you staying if your woman cheats?
I don't divulge my personal decisions. Okay,
we'll take that as no. Because we know that
come on, Herb. That's either a yes or no, man.
So, and that's the bullshit.
I don't see David sitting around either.
No question.
Right there. Let's go with.
He won't get into the conversation. Would you stay, Dave, if you caught your wife cheating, girlfriend, whoever?
I know it'll be a hell of a time because I know, like you said, it's going to be hard for me to forgive that. So I'm probably going to be pot shotting, saying stuff. So I think it's always going to be tension. I don't know how quick I would walk out, but it's like I tend to agree with y'all say. Like women seem to be more forgiving and may work through it, and guys is just. That's a hell of a thing. Like you said, to have those visual images. I don't know if women thoughts get visual like men that think about somebody all up inside something of his. So it'll be tough. It'll be tough. Whether I'm there or not, the relationship is gonna be fucked up. It's probably gonna be messed up.
Word.
And Gavin actually makes an excellent point.
You hear?
He says no. He's in the chat. He said because of the fact that there's a risk of pregnancy occurring, that's not his responsibility, but he's held accountable nonetheless. That's an aspect that women will never have to deal with. Never have to deal with. So you combine that with other factors, I can understand why some men would be reticent to hang around. But I don't cast disparaging remarks either way. That's their decision.
It's called DNA. If you ever have any doubts, get it.
But see, this is what women fail to understand. It doesn't matter what the DNA says. He's still on the hook financially because he's married to her.
That's not true.
You don't look up case law, do you? LaToya? You not look up case law, do you?
I know what the old case law says, but I'm telling you, that's not always true.
What does case law say?
Most states, they automatically assume that the father, the person that the woman is married to, is the responsible party, but that's not always true.
But you just said that case law says that. In order for a man to actually go get DNA, he has to get a court order, and sometimes that court order is not acknowledged because the state doesn't want to be on the hook for that. This is why part of the reason that men have an issue.
This is why when situations like this happen, do a DNA test between both parties, both men she was sleeping with. When you find out the husband is not the responsible party, then that becomes the party of the person who is the real father.
And if he doesn't want to submit to a DNA test, which he doesn't have to, then what? Crickets. I thought so.
Oh, no, there are ways around that.
Submit to a DNA test if he's not married. He doesn't have to. They can't force him to.
If she says that he's the father,
it doesn't matter. He
doesn't on it, and it will be his.
they can't force them to submit to a DNA test. It's not a rape case.
All right.
It isn't. It's not a rape case. The rape case is different.
I'm gonna let you have that because I don't believe in diverging some people's information, but go ahead with that.
You don't have to give names to talk about a case. If you know of a case, speak on the case. That doesn't require you to give a name.
I know of a case where and the husband was not on the hook.
I'm not saying it can't happen.
And that's all I'm saying. That is not always the case.
I know.
That's what case law, and it goes according to the case law, but that's not always the case.
I'm aware of loopholes that allow men to get out of paying child support for a child that isn't theirs. What we're saying is this: the likelihood of that happening isn't great. This is why infidelity for men is different than it is for women. That doesn't make it any less easier. It just explains it.
So let me ask this. So the husband takes the test. It comes back that it's not his. Meanwhile, and the other guy refuses to take it. Then what happens? What happens?
The husband can request to have his name removed from the birth certificate, and it can be stated as unknown.
And that's what the state doesn't want. The state doesn't want to be on the hook financially for a child. This is one of the reasons why they came up with child support. And this is one of the reasons why, well, let me put all this in order. This is one of the reasons why they came up with child support for divorced parents, and then they came up with child support for unwed mothers. Because the state realized that they were absorbing too much of the financial burden for mothers that were having children out of wedlock. And they said, we're not going to do this. We're going to pin it on the quote unquote the responsible party, which for the state was men. One, because they had the financial wherewithal that women didn't have then. Nowadays, that's not so much the case, but the rules have not changed.
And see, and I think that's the problem. And we already know that we live in a system that was designed for a different time, but now we're in a different age. This shit need to be changed, whatever. Like we living in a world and society that how do we rebound when we still dealing with old laws and times have changed and we're still basing it on stuff from back in the days? It's like a no-win situation.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's
okay.
What I miss?
They was
Ain't
talking.
nobody arguing, so what I miss?
What I was stating was this. The reason why infidelity becomes a bigger issue for men, whether it's in a marriage or in a relationship, is because of the possibility of pregnancy. She was saying that men don't have to pay for a child that isn't theirs. Generally speaking, that can be true. But in order for that to happen, he has to get legal documentation to get that child tested.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In the absence of all of that, he's on the hook. So when you spend 15, 16, 17 years of your life and your finances raising a child that's not yours, there's no coming back from that.
I thought if you signed the birth certificate, whether you were the biological father or not, you were on the hook. Other than that.
No, and that's the point that we're making. That's why infidelity for men becomes a bigger issue than it is for women. I'm not disagreeing that men find it difficult to come back from that as opposed to women. I'm not even disagreeing. I'm not even attacking that argument. I'm just giving an explanation as to why.
Yeah, I can see that being a reason. Because we don't have to face that. The kid's ours. We know it's ours. So So I mean, the biggest lie that a female can pull on a guy is telling him that a kid isn't his when she know good and goddamn well that child is not his. And we have far too many people that suffer that situation.
What I find interesting.
You'll never hear me disagree.
What I find interesting. All of this because Charles wanted to get a little nut down after work. All of this child support talk. All of this because Charles just wanted to get off after work.
I don't think a man should
be
have to
getting off
support
on
a
his wife.
child that's not his unless he wants to do that. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Just like there are a lot of men out there that refuse to take care of children when they know that they belong to them. There's an equal amount of women out there who are just as sad and raggedy. So, and I'll never say that they're not, for as many bad things as you can say about a woman, there is an equal amount of bad things you can say about their male counterparts. So,
I got reinforcement.
Hey, darlings, how are you?
So,
Hey, Soraya, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing good. I'm starting my birthday celebration, so I'm doing great. But I wanted to come in because I said I was coming in. Got my wine. I got a blunt being rolled for me right now, so I
can't do that, but I can drink with you.
I mean,
Cheers.
babe, it's all right. It's okay. Here we go. Boom.
Wow. So, Soraya, have you heard anything? But let me see what Snuggles got to say.
I haven't. I was making
Answer
sure.
Snuggles'
I was just trying to get
question, yes.
in. Well, yeah, I believe so. I believe that the answer to his question is yes. That's why I love it so much. Yeah.
What does the stats say about men paying child support on? What does the stats say about women lying about child support?
Probably equal.
Well, who the fuck knows? Like, yeah. You ain't supposed to lie about it either. And if somebody is lying about it, then it's up to you as the man, if that's happening, to go ahead and report her ass. Like, what's the hubbub? What we mean?
I'm just saying it's easier than done.
So
I
what?
believe that.
No, it ain't impossible. So what? It's easier said than done. It ain't impossible.
Yeah.
But see, this is the issue that I great umbrage with. It's like when people in society tell men to go fight to be a father. Go fight for your child. Go do this for your child. We don't tell women that.
Because we're already doing it.
Well, I mean, so what? You don't tell them that. But what is the point? So what? You don't tell us that. So, like, yeah, you don't tell us that. But so what?
I'm saying society doesn't. Society doesn't tell a woman to go fight for custody.
Yes,
they don't have to.
Yes, yes, they do. When
That's
a mother loses custody and she's on drugs and all of that stuff, yes, society does ostracize her and tell her to go and get her kids back. Like, yes, they do. So just
talk about the absence of divorce.
What do you mean in the absence of divorce? Anytime a mother is not stepping up to the plate, society gets on her just like they get on men, if not worse. Because women are expected to step up. So, like, what do you mean?
I'm not talking about stepping up to the plate. I'm just talking about ability to be a father. No, where do women have to fight for the right to just be a mother? Just to be a mother.
When a child is taken away from them.
Pardon?
When a child is taken away from them, they have to fight for their right to be a mother. If it's proven that they are not a fit mother, which is usually the situation in which a child would be taken from the mother, then if she desires to have that child back, then yes, she has to go fight for her right to be that child's mother and to mother that child.
But that's the key phrase. When that child is taken from, children rarely are taken from because they're rarely with their father.
Yeah, because their fathers usually leave. What are you talking about?
And see, and here we go with the whole thing again.
No, here we go with the whole thing. What are you talking about? Fathers are usually leaving. It is not the majority that fathers are just not being allowed to be with their kids. It absolutely is true.
Statistically, that's not true.
Women who've gone through that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
3 women out of how many women have given birth in this country?
I don't know, nor do I care. What we're talking about is your assumption, your person
that don't align with that.
What is your why aren't men with their children in your assertion?
Men are
women again, watch.
No,
yeah, I know. I want to hear. Why aren't they with their children?
You have some men that don't want to be fathers. You have some men that aren't allowed to be fathers. You have some men that are forced into into having to fight because the system won't allow them to be fathers.
So,
Rarely
so what?
rarely
yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
taking a
But
child
so what?
and keeping that child from the mother.
I'm still trying to get
and on the
okay,
flip,
so what?
What
does
and
that
on
mean?
the flip side of that, women have to do the same thing. They have to fight for child support when it is warranted.
I'm just like, so what? Like, who cares?
I mean,
if you want to be a father and you have to fight to be a father, then that's just what you have to do. I mean, that's just it.
Which leads back to my original statement when I said women don't have to do that.
Says who?
If listen, we done already said what we gonna say now, because it's just a ridiculous thing to do. We done told you exactly when a woman has to fight for their kid. Most of the time, fathers are abandoning their children, and that's why a mother doesn't have to prove her right to be a mother. She got to be a mother. What else is she gonna do? If a child is taken, then yes, if she wants to be a mother, she has to go prove it. If a father, for whatever reason, is not in his child's life and he wishes to be, it may have to come down to a fight. And that's just what he has to do if being in his child's life is what he wants to do. So what? You have to go through that. If that's what you want to do, then you just do it. People fight for all kinds of things.
And now you have an ironclad reason why men aren't fathers.
No, that's not an ironclad reason. Men don't want to be fathers.
I just want to know. I just want to know how we got to this point, but it's other points that Charles simply came home, was on the chat line, and we talk about paternity tests and all of that stuff. It's issues between that has to be worked out. How do we work those out when a man is obviously not being fulfilled that leads him to do that? I think we're still at that point. We went way down the road,
Men make a choice to stay or leave. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. I've said it before that you can't. It's nothing you can do. If a mofo is determined to stay, it ain't nothing you can do to get them to leave. If they determined to leave, it ain't nothing you're gonna do to make them stay. So, of course, there are reasons that men decide to do what they do. There's reasons that women decide too, but we can't blame it on one another. I don't blame it if a man goes out and cheats on his chick. I'm willing to listen to the reasons, because there's a lot of reasons that can happen. If you're not screwing your man, if you're not giving your man what he wants, especially if he's asking you for it, then I don't really know what you expect him to do. All of that, he should just love me even though I'm not sucking his dick. Like, that don't make no sense to me. If that's what you started off doing, honey, you better listen. It's gonna happen somewhere.
Whatever you start off doing is what you gotta make
right. So I absolutely believe that there are absolutely reasons that men decide to cheat, just like there are reasons that women do, but very rarely do we want to hear that, because nobody wants to take culpability when somebody makes that decision. It's still a fucked up decision, but there's sometimes a reason that made that decision, and sometimes that comes back to you. Listen, I'm about to start. My celebration is starting. My blunt is rolled, and so yeah.
Puff, puff, pass.
Stop in.
Puff, puff, pass.
I'm a pass. Hey, yes, it's gonna be a puff, puff, pass. I can't pass to you. What you want me to do? Blow at you?
Yeah, you can do that. I could just,
I just wanted to stop in because I said I was coming, and I wanted to keep my word and shit.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Enjoy your birthday.
Happy birthday. And we'll connect.
Thank you. Somebody dropped my book link in there. Remember, tomorrow's my birthday, people. Everybody needs to be ordering my book. Like, you need to support it.
And it's sitting in my basket on Amazon. Okay.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you.
Let me get it.
I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Be good. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I got a question to ask. And I'm thinking about Charles. You want him to change his habits on social media, too many conversations with other women. Well, typically there are two motivating factors that cause people to change: pain and pleasure. How would you use those two factors to your advantage if this was your situation? So it's saying basically people make decisions as far as getting motivated to change. They base it on pain or pleasure.
I mean, if you were basing it on pleasure, I guess you would learn to do whatever it is he likes.
Okay.
And hope that you enjoy it too.
Stop doing, you started again.
Yeah. And I guess if you're basing it on pain, you know, he fixing to get smacked in the head with a frying pan. So.
So I guess in that case, as a man, if you know, like, man, she hit me the other time with this frying pan, I better get right and make better decisions.
I mean, yeah, I guess what you would do is take your ass out to your car and do it out there, or do it in your office. I don't know. Do it out of my earshot. You know, I agree with what Sharia said. You can't stop nobody from doing nothing, not really. You know, and me saying that I would smack somebody in the back of the head with a frying pan, it ain't gonna it might stop him at that second, but it may not stop, you know, the action. So I would hope that my good sense would grab me before I grab the frying pan and try to have a conversation. But I know me, I have low tolerance for that type of shit. I really do. If I were to ever get married, I would take my vows wholeheartedly seriously. If I don't want to be bothered with you, I'm leaving. You know, I'm not going to cheat on you or try to find another sexual outlet in place of you. I'm just going to go and go do whatever the hell it is I want to. And that's why I say the things that I do. That absolutely would not be tolerated. If it can't be worked out, you got to go. You got to get out.
So let me ask you this. Would it be any different if it wasn't a chat line and he was down there and he had his collection of porn and stuff like that?
Baby? Yeah, he's
so he's fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not against porn. I'm not saying that I watch it, but I'm not against porn. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit, some kind of way. You can't always be on the bottom. Sometimes you got to get on top. Sometimes you got to turn it around. I'm not against that, because I would hope after he got finished watching all that shit that he's coming upstairs to me, you know, and whatever. You know, I'm not against fantasy. You know, but if you're talking to a real live person, you're letting this other live person, you know, get you off, then yeah. But, you know, a movie, do you? You know.
Let me ask you this. This is another layer to it. What if he has the collections of tapes or stuff like that in there of his former, like his exes? How would that make you feel?
His ex-girlfriend?
I would not care.
Yeah, I wouldn't be down for that.
Reason.
So you wouldn't care if he had if he had that video of Keisha that he was popping in.
I would probably feel a little jealous about that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no.
Hell
but
no.
You're not getting no videos of me.
So that ain't gonna bother me at all.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. See what her tricks look like.
Yeah, that would probably bother me. So I can't lie about that one.
So because of that, you said he would never get a video with you because you think that if you and him,
I would never let anybody get a video of me. Once it's locked in, it's locked in. You can't never erase that shit. It ain't never going nowhere. And I might want to do something super important with my life, and I don't need that shit coming back to bite me in the ass. But nah, you better lock that into your memory somewhere. I don't know what to tell you, but you ain't getting no videos of me swinging from trees and shit like that. Nah. Hell no. No. Nope. You know, do you whatever makes you happy behind closed doors. I think all people, you know, should do that. And some couples, I met some swingers once. A friend of mine, we were on a boat ride and there was a couple there and they were swingers. And I was sitting there chatting it up with the wife. And her husband kept rolling up on her. He was trying to get her attention for whatever reason. And she was too busy talking to me about their lifestyle, and she just put another woman right on him. Literally, she was like, hold on for a second, and tapped a woman on her shoulder. She was like, can you handle that? And she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, that don't bother you? And she was like, no. She was like, for it was like their 30th wedding anniversary, she got him a menage a trois, but they were both cool with it. Me personally, I could not do that. But if that's what you like and that's how you roll.
So it makes me think. It makes me think how I asked you the question about porn and stuff. Like, would guys really would we be okay with that if we walked in and your woman was watching that and she wasn't watching it to get hot and steamy for you? That's just something she do. Or if she had videos of an ex, how we take it? So sometimes I think
Well,
stuff is
like
a
you,
little.
men and women think differently about a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Me
Anymore.
personally, my boyfriend going to the strip club, you know, hoping, assuming that he's going to conduct himself accordingly, does not bother me.
What's conducting yourself
Well,
accordingly
you
at a strip
know,
Not
club?
fucking
I'm
anybody.
not gonna catch
Not
you
what?
finger screwing,
Not
you know, one
fucking
of the strippers
anybody.
or some
Uh,
shit like that. You know, if you're going in there strictly for the entertainment and you know you cheering and whooping it up or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. You acting accordingly in the strip club, stuff like that doesn't bother me. I don't know why it just doesn't bother me. But if you know if you don't let a stripper get all up in your ear, you know, and you getting her number, you know, okay, I got a problem with that. You know, men walk down the street all day long. You'll walk down the street with your girlfriend and you'll see something that catches your eye and your neck get all stiff because you don't want to turn and look, you know, and if it's cute, it's cute. You saying that something looks good to you is one thing. You going after something that looks good to you is a whole
whoa,
different thing.
hold up.
Pretty much. You can
Hold
look
up.
like that as long as you're not touching. I
So
don't
y'all
care.
telling me we together, we walk in, and I say, man, she look nice. She got a nice frame. Y'all gonna be okay with that?
I personally don't have a problem with it because I got a nice frame. What the fuck do
Shit,
I
most of
care?
the time I'm looking with my husband.
Yeah, it's stuff like
Like,
that.
I'm gonna keep it real with
Bothers
you.
me
Most of the
because
time I'm looking with my husband. I'll be like, damn, did you see her
yeah,
ass?
yeah,
It
stuff
trips
like
him
that
out,
don't
but it
bother
is
me.
what
Now,
it
if you
is.
stop and you go follow her and you have a conversation with her, that's a different thing. I see handsome
Exactly.
men all day, every day, and I'm quick to tell a man, especially with a beard, you moving that, you working that. That does not mean that I want to sleep with you. I'm just stating the
So
obvious.
you wouldn't say
If
that.
a
You wouldn't say that with your man, like, oh, he look nice. Yeah, I like his beard or whatever. Would you say that in your man's presence?
Now that's where knowing
I've
your
never
personnel
said
comes
that
in.
in his presence, but he knows me well enough to know what I find appealing to my eye. So if that were to walk past me, I don't think he would be surprised if I look. But would I say that in front of him? Probably not. But would I be offended if he said that in front of me about a female? No.
I could
Is
tell
what
you
I'm
what.
saying.
No, you wouldn't say it in front of him. You'll wait till you get to talk to your sister, one of your closest. Girl, I seen this. Oh my God, this dude walked by when I was with Charles, and he was so damn fine, or
You
whatever
know,
the case is.
me and my best friend, our her boyfriend and or her husband, the guy that I used to date, they were almost like twins. They almost look like twins, same height, same beard, same color, same build, everything. And so we both kind of got the same eye for things. I'm you know, I'm just saying I'm not. There was a time when I was younger and I was insecure like that. As I get older, that type of stuff just not, it doesn't bother me. My thing is if he knows where home is.
Okay.
My man knows where home is, and I love him enough, he loves me enough where I don't have to sweat his phone to figure out where he is. He would tell me anyway. If he decided to go to a strip club, he'd tell me before he went. Probably ask me if I wanted to come. So I don't have to be insecure about certain things anymore. In my 20s, I'm sure I would have pitched a fit about these types of scenarios, but it doesn't bother me, you know, anymore. You know, and when you get up into your 50s, it's hard to compete with a perky 20-year-old woman. So I mean, if I think she's beautiful, I'm gonna think that my man thinks that she's beautiful. That those are just straight facts. But
You
you
know what?
know,
It's this point in perspective is interesting, and I'll pose this question: at what point in our lives do we allow for our mate, whether male, female, or whatever the situation might be? do we allow for them to still see something that's attractive, acknowledge it, but not necessarily act upon it without having to draw the ire or the wrath of another individual?
I think that depends on the relationship and you as a person. You know, most people that are very, very secure in their relationship, the relationship is not the thing that they worry about. It might be other things, finances, or, you know, the kids, whatever the case may be. But most people that are secure in their relationship, they're absolutely secure and they don't have any personal hangups.
Okay.
You know
Because
what I
that
mean?
was the question I was going to ask. Is it so much that security in the relationship, or is it security within oneself?
I think it's a little bit, you know, of both. I feel secure in myself, but there's still some things that I wouldn't allow, that I would feel would threaten my relationship if I saw it happen, put it that way. And so I think it's a little of both. If I'm confident, absolutely confident that he loves me and that I love him, in my mind, and I'm only speaking for myself, that any man who loves me will always take my feelings into consideration when he moves.
Because
That's how I see it. So with saying that, I wouldn't feel like he would do something to deliberately hurt me. So when I feel that way in a relationship, I can relax. I don't have to worry when he leaves the house, what's he doing? When I walk in the house, what am I going to catch? If somebody rings the phone and I don't recognize it, do I got to stand 3 feet behind them to try to ear pimp the conversation? I don't have to worry about those things. So I can worry about other shit. And if I'm confident enough of myself that I'm bringing enough to him to keep his eye, his ear, his heart, then so what? A pretty girl walk by you. They out there all damn day, every day, just like a handsome man is. They every damn where.
so
I can't expect him to keep his head down.
in that case, when you hit a certain point, do you transition into, you still had a love, but eventually when the relationships turn into more of a business aspect and say, listen, you can look and you can do whatever. Long as our shit is taken care at home, I'm fine with it.
See, but
You're
see,
not
I
che- you're not cheating on me. Period. You're just not. That's not acceptable. You can't. You know, and I'm sure I'll catch some heat from this. You're not gonna physically abuse me. You're not gonna lie to me, and you're not gonna cheat on me. Those are three deal breakers with me. You're not gonna do any of that shit to me because I wouldn't do that to you. You're not gonna do that. So there would never
I
be
might
a
don't mind me. I
situation.
might have to, I like to take notes. I might have to
Yeah,
write these three
I would
things
there would
down.
never be
Deal
a
breakers.
situation where I would say
Yeah.
this is just a business, you know, relationship. I guess if I was dying of cancer and you just couldn't sleep with me no more and you was just staying with me out of feeling dutiful, I guess. But there, I would never put myself or leave myself in a situation where I stayed with somebody just because it was financially feasible.
well, which leads me to another statement. There are some relationships and marriages that get to a point where they're just cohabitating. So what one individual does, it doesn't really concern the other individuals. So, like you said, Rebecca, so long as things are being covered at home, they say, look, you can go out and do what you want to. You can sleep with this individual. You can do what you want to. So long as when it comes to home, the kids are taken care of, the finances are maintained. I don't care what you do because we're at that point now where it's just maintenance. The
I mean,
home
if
and
some people can do that, work
I just don't
do you?
understand. Why would you even continue to stay married? I mean, at this point, if your kids are full grown adults and you got grandkids, what the hell are you holding on for?
And I know people who have done that. They stayed married until the kids were 18 and then they promptly bounced. Literally on the 18th birthday, got up and got out. I mean, if it worked for you, but I guess if I was in that situation, we would still have to get divorced because I would still consider that cheating.
So
So
what's your 3 points again? Because I'm about to come with some stats.
abuse,
Abuse.
lying, and cheating.
Okay. Okay.
Now, here's my thing. and this is in regards to the other talking point that he brought up about, like, the security in a relationship. I was in a relationship once where I've always been secure in myself and who I am, and you know what I mean, like that. I'm just who I am. And there was a situation where my ex had cheated on me, and his whole thing was that I I didn't make him feel secure because I didn't pitch a fit every time a female spoke to him. And I was like, so that's your excuse. You cheat on me because I don't pitch a fit every time a woman speaks to you. I don't see a point in me getting in my feelings or having something to say every time a woman talks to you. I said, do you know how many women, because he was a social person. So do you know how many females you talk to when we go out? I'm supposed to have a fit every time somebody walks up in your face. Are you serious right now?
That's too
I
now.
was
See, to me,
like,
that type of individual is an teacher. Wow, an
I was
attention
just like,
seeking.
if you need somebody who's insecure, then clearly this is not the situation for you. And then that was that.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like,
Wholeheartedly.
you needed somebody who was insecure, and I'm just never gonna be that person. I do everything that I can to show you that I love you and all of that. And if me being proactive with my love is not enough for you, because I don't question when your phone rings and all that, then you can go ahead with yourself. I'm good.
I guess
Whatever
in
it
some
is,
cases,
be
some people want the need to be wanted and needed,
Yeah.
like somebody else wants them and desire them. Does that bother you, or whatever the case? If you have the attitude like, yeah, do whatever, it don't matter. So then they question that, like, damn, do she even care, or
No,
whatever the case
see, that
is.
wasn't the thing. My thing is, when we went out, I always held his hand. I always hugged him. Like, I was very visual in my affection. So it's like, why do I need to be like, oh, who that? Who on your phone? If I have to become that kind of person,
Cut her off. They cut her off.
You know,
Because I was just like, what the heck just happened?
Oh, I
my
got a secret police that cut people off now. Once they tone level get going, they cut them off. They've been
my
dying to
best
get you,
friend,
Rebecca.
she's the type of woman where she'll just tell a person straight out, I beat bitches behind my man. Like, that's her favorite saying. And I believe her, 100%. When she says that, she's absolutely not having it. Don't show up at her house unannounced, none of that. She is dead ass, about her husband. And, some every now and again, I guess everybody want their ego stroked. Who don't? You looking extra cute today, you looking extra fly today, yeah, who don't? And so I'm
I
not
don't,
gonna
but I'm a
get
different
me out in
cat.
the street
I
making
mean, my thing
everybody
is, I
feel
would
this to
stroke his
make me
ego
feel
by, speaking
right.
to
I'm
him
not
and,
gonna
hey,
ask
you
you
look
to,
nice today, and,
the street just to
things
make
like
me
that.
feel
But it's
better,
like,
but
you want me to act crazy in public.
yeah, we're
I'm
not
just
doing
not going to
that.
do
But
it. I'm not going to do it.
yeah,
I'll
I would
compliment you
always
all
want my
day.
husband or
I'll
my
kiss
man.
you and hug on you and all that. But to be out there, you better not be talking to this bitch and that bitch and throwing stuff.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
That's a little bit extra. That's a lot. That's a
I
lot.
don't blame. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't engage people who are attention seekers. That to me, that's borderline narcissistic. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, then I can take you where they sell that stuff, and yeah, you can purchase at your heart's delight. But I'm not the individual for you.
Yeah, I don't like fighting in public. I never have. It's not to say that I've never done it, but I don't enjoy that at all. I would prefer to be behind, closed doors or in a vehicle, something where it's just me and whoever. But you do got some women out here that will make you clown. Just like you have some men out here, that will make you clown. What one thing I can't stand is a woman that'll push up on your man when she knows he's
Oh,
with you. She
Oh,
she
I'm always
knows
amused
that,
by women that do that shit. That'd be so amusing to me.
you bitch, you looking right at us sitting together, and hear your ass come. I don't like that, and likewise I don't like men who do it, who come up and whisper in your ear talking about, is he taking good care of you? I don't like that either.
So where your man at during that time?
I've had several men at, can I have your number? Well, go ask him. Go ask my boyfriend if you can have it. If he tell you, yeah, come back and come see me. You know, and that usually makes them go away. But, you know, there are people out there, men and women, they just don't give a damn about your relationship. They don't care nothing about that. So if we ain't out here fighting for it.
That's that whole bad Leroy Brown. There's a verse in the Leroy Brown song that addresses that. And sometimes some people, you know, not necessarily literally, but metaphorically, sometimes people need to be chin checked. Now, I'm not necessarily the cat that'll challenge you in public, but I will make it known, your little partner, you treading on some thin ice, and what's below that ice, you don't want to fuck with.
I mean, so when you take this back to the original scenario, it could be something as innocent as him phone chatting could lead to so many, you know, different awful things. I guess on the flip side, it could lead to something good. You might find out that you and your man are interested in the exact same thing and y'all's keeping it a secret out of embarrassment. I don't know.
Well, no, but that's the thing with a lot of phone lines that I am aware of. They're not the type where you actually disclose personal information. They're more so to the point where you're just actually chatting. So rarely do you actually get the same individuals all the time. Like I said, from what I know of, I've never been on one. I've never called into one. I can speak to what I believe
that they see your fingertips to see if they worn down a little bit from buying. I don't know.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Suspect.
I mean, he a whole grown man, and he on a chat line. This time you a teenager, so I mean,
online.
I would just be like,
Rebecca, you too much. You too much, Rebecca.
I missed something. I missed a whole lot of something.
He know way too much information about the chat line.
Oh, man.
I try to figure out why people are so amazed or amused that I know anything about anything.
I'm not amazed. I'm not amazed.
The comments sound like it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not amazed.
Let me put it out there like this. I am a firm proponent of anything that I speak about, I should have a cardinal knowledge of. So if I speak about going into a gay club, I've been into a gay club. So I can speak to that point. I make it a point to be informed when I speak and not just to give an unbiased opinion. This is why I'm so adamant about people speaking with facts. This is why I don't tolerate people talking about, I feel this. No, I don't give a damn what you feel. Because if I put you on the train track and you feel like that train should stop and that train ain't gonna stop, what's gonna happen?
You can't discount nobody's feelings just because you
it's
don't
not
want
about
to.
discounting feelings, but
You
people
just
want to
said, my nigga,
no. I said when it comes to feelings, I said when it comes to feelings, I don't yield to them until you can provide something that substantiates the way you feel. You have too many people
substantiate their feelings to you.
But when you're talking about a factual position, your feelings don't have anything to do with it.
Let me just say this. Let me say this. Like when you put stuff out there, and like when you talked about the chat line, like if I know it's a show coming up and we're gonna be talking about that, I'm gonna go on and do some research and kind of read up on that stuff, so be able to have some background knowledge, whether you used it or the strip club or the gay club stuff going in there. I don't know as far as going that far, but some people, you know, that's what they do. I mean, real like journalists and stuff like that, and people on television, they have to actually go in and do those type of things as part of their job to get background knowledge. So I don't see nothing wrong with trying to have background knowledge, especially if you know, okay, I'm gonna go in here and this might come up. I'm gonna have some knowledge of that situation.
I'm not discounting that. When he was talking about people's personal feelings, and you can't make me justify to you with facts why I feel the way that I feel.
And I wouldn't try to. What I'm simply saying is you have too many people that want to get into a discussion, and the only reference they have is the way that they feel.
Okay.
That doesn't work in a discussion where you're trying to prove a point. You'll never win a debate or a discussion with feelings. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work for you.
Let me here's Marcia. Marcia said some men are just that disrespectful because I feel if he had any real feelings about his woman, he wouldn't even say certain things that could cause drama between them. He would tailor his comments. This can apply to her as well.
And see, now we get into making people inauthentic because they have to tailor what they say to not make somebody upset. And
well,
this is,
I mean, but
no, but that's what I was getting back to earlier. Is to, at what point in life do we get that we allow people to be themselves? If we're looking for,
I mean, be you,
allowing them to be they should be being themselves from the door.
But you can't
because let me tell you, a relationship built on a lie doesn't last very long. Because I mean,
no, it's not even a lie.
What they true nature, like that shit is just impossible. At some point, the real you is going to show up. So why not just show up from the door? Why perpetrate to be something that you are not?
Because it goes
a lie that you have to maintain. That shit is exhausting. You might as well just tell the truth. If she like you, she like you. If he like you, he like you. If not, hell with him. It's somebody else out there.
But it goes to Marcia's statement that if an individual cares about another individual's feelings, that they are going to tailor their comments so as to not bruise those feelings. And that's what I mean. You get into being inauthentic. If I can't say something that I would naturally say otherwise because I'm around you, then it's like you said, LaToya, why am I with you? And see, you have people who they'll do that song and dance because they want to be with that person. But in being with that person, they lose an element of themselves. I'm not willing to do that.
Some people, but you don't have to be brutal either.
And let me add to that and see, and that goes with KYP, knowing your personnel. Like some things, like I probably shouldn't say it like this. I know how she gonna handle it, so I gotta kind of find a way to say it that my true me is coming out, but yet and still I'm trying to have some compassion for her, and I think sometimes people don't take the time to do that. And I don't, and I think in relationships, you have to be able to kind of wiggle stuff around. When you just blurt stuff out with no filters, I think that ends up being a disaster. So for me, it's like, all right, I gotta find a way to craft this that if she knows me, she knows what I'm really trying to say, but I'm not trying to be that hurtful to her. So I think.
I agree with what both of y'all said, because you should be able to say what you want, but at the same time, I mean, but damn, you can tell me that you don't, because again, this goes back to the ugly sweater. Now I don't have to tell you that.
I'm talking about my damn sweater. I have not worn a sweater since that day, but I'm gonna throw that shit on Monday for your ass.
When I decided maybe he had to wear an ugly sweater to work and left it alone.
I'm gonna stop talking about that shit now.
I can even get past it because of the manscape. I
just said, hey, I ain't gotta go outside with him for shit. I don't care about
it. These are perfect examples of when your mate steps out of the room and she's like, baby, do I look fat? And you just don't want to tell her. And, and let me say this: we know when we look fat in an outfit, we like it so much. We just want somebody to tell us that we look amazing. We know when we look fucked up in an outfit, but if that's a perfect scenario when you step out and you just don't want to hurt your girlfriend, your wife, you just don't want to hurt her feelings, so you try to say something like, it's not appropriate for where we're going, you know, or whatever. I know what you're gonna say. Take that shit off. And you try not to hurt somebody's feelings, and at the same time tell the truth. And I think the last time we were all on a panel, that's what got us started with him. Yeah, I would want you to tell me, but you don't have to crush my spirit, you know, and telling me that. See, because we already know you like stealing joy. So, you know,
You sitting up there like signing, or what are you
one hand,
doing?
you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna step out the house. He never would have came out nowhere with me with that sweater on unless we was going to a
Goddamn sweater.
Party, I ain't got nothing to say, but if we just going out to have dinner,
lie. I was stripped
Saturday,
myself.
but you gotta change that shirt.
I was
You
strip
know,
myself
it don't
naked and
match.
dance around in my thong in front of my man to keep him from leaving the house like that. We just gonna stay in tonight, but you're not coming out with me, you know, wearing that. We gonna find something.
I'm wearing that shit Monday night, a Christmas sweater with a nice fedora, a different one.
So long as you look good from here up.
As long as it matches, all right.
And that's last time when I had it on.
You knew that wasn't correct.
That hat was not enough of a distraction for that damn sweater. I'm sorry.
He knew that wasn't right. He knew it wasn't right.
See, the difference is which your partner could take. Because my family, we got jokes all day. We real hard. And people say it all the time. If I can survive y'all, we can survive anything. Y'all always got something to say. So sooner or later, your partner picks up on that, and you put on something, and they may say, excuse my language, what the fuck you going with that on? And you like, damn, this don't look right. Nah, you should wear this shirt, or you should wear them shoes. You got to respect that and say, yeah, all right, I'm change up. But some people, if they don't say anything, then you're going out looking like a damn clown. That's a whole different thing. And you have people mumbling when they walk by. Oh, she knows she wrong for letting him come out with that or something like that. And I know that shouldn't bother you, but it's in certain situations is real. Like going out to a club, that might be different. But if it's a family function and now you got family members talking like, damn, where the hell? She should have told him not to wear that Christmas sweater and put something else on. And you overhear that stuff. That ass,
but I'm a stand by my man. I'm just be like, I still love him. I still love him.
I love him enough to be like, babe, you know, that
ugly sweater.
It's not working for me. I need you to find something else to put on.
You know, and it's just like with sex. You know, you don't tell your partner what you like and what you don't like. You
never gonna get what you like if you don't teach them.
You know, you think you putting in work and everything you're doing, he doesn't like. He flows with it on the first go around because he love you. And now you keep coming back with that same game, and he's never really like that. And now he can't tell you that he don't like that shit, because that shit right there is a soul crusher. You know, I'm with him. You have to be honest. You just ain't gotta, you know.
Maybe that's why Charles was on the chat line.
Okay, but he should have had a conversation with his wife first.
Exactly. There's a conversation that needs to be had. If you want me to talk dirty to you, then you need to let me know that. We could talk dirty all damn night.
No, for real. Now, seriously. Hold on, ladies. Now, serious. Y'all come on, and a lot of women say already from up front what they ain't gonna do. So it's a guy, he may say, you know what, I'm gonna go along with it because I really like her and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that she'll open up to these ideas or whatever the case is. So that may lead to Charles being on the chat line, because from day 1, day 2, day 3, I don't do this, I don't do that, but yet they still want to be a part of you.
I mean, if you come to me and you tell me, you know, I'm into bondage and spanking and witchcraft, and, you know, I want to choke you while I'm having sex with you, how you feel about that? And I say, absolutely not. You know, chances are that's what I meant. Absolutely not. And if you continue to fool with me and I continue to fool with you, it's a 50-50 thing. You
Then
already
you are
know where I
signing
stand.
up to curb your appetites.
You know, if you ask me again to put on a wig and act like I'm Hillary, I might.
What the hell? You keep talking about Hillary. Hillary has never been attractive.
I might have that wig in my closet. Neither is he. You know, I'm just saying. You know, again, there are several things that I have never tried. You know, in my life with the right person, I might be willing to try, but I know you're not going to hurt me. I can absolutely say that straight out the gate. Don't be trying to, bang my head up against a wall or, no shit like that. Something that's going to cause me physical pain,
That's
but
what
just because I
conversations
haven't
come in.
tried.
Because you like bondage. What kind of bondage are we talking about? Because there's different kinds of bondage.
Well, I mean,
are we talking about the playful slap people? Are we talking about, nails and whips and, like chains and all that? We talking chains and all that. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah. There's some stuff that I'm just not down with, but I'm all about keeping it, exciting. If you want to act like you a ninja warrior and you want to climb in through the window,
go for it.
I'll leave it cracked for you. I'm not against that. But you can't come in and hold me at gunpoint and try,
I guess less is more. I guess less is more for me. All that climbing through windows and shit.
That's different.
Between you and the one you love, you should be able to discuss, anything. That's what I'm saying. If you want to wear my panties and they fit you, they fit you.
I don't know about that now. I don't know. That might be a little too much.
If you want to put a pole in the corner, I might try to learn how to.
If you offer him that option and he says yes,
leave him.
You better start thinking about an escape clause.
Yeah, basically.
You better start thinking about an escape clause.
Yeah. Now, pole in the corner of the room all day, we can play with that. But you want to wear my drawers, man.
I ain't never liked climbing fences as a kid, so I ain't climbing no pole or doing none of that.
I'll climb the pole. That's definitely a deal breaker.
I'll give her the point on this one. You should be able to freely say things. I just think that you should know when to curb them, and when to just go ahead on and, we talking about money, we gonna be real blunt. We talking about an ugly sweater. I might, try to rub your beard first before I tell you can't wear that. So, I mean, there's a way to say everything.
Exactly. But
there's a way to say
it goes with what David was saying about, knowing your personnel.
Yeah.
If you know the person that you with, you know how to approach them about different things. Yeah. And that's one of the first things you're supposed to learn, how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key of not knowing what you could say and not to say to your partner. If you know what you could say and y'all go get along and laugh with it, and it's gonna be respect out of that. Even if it's the ugly sweater and your woman said you shouldn't have wore that, then you wore something different that what she said and you got a lot of compliments, you're able to say, damn, baby, that was a good selection. I'm glad I did take off that ugly ass sweater and put this on, because everybody kept sweating what I had on.
You're going to get rewarded for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You'll be rewarded for that.
Yes, you will.
Absolutely. So
I don't know about you, Herb, but I like rewards.
You're going to be rewarded for that. Yes. Absolutely.
I am my own reward.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Basically.
That's why I asked, let me see your fingers, because I don't know what you're doing. You your own. Now you your own product, so I don't know.
Hey, if I've said it once before, I'll say it again. LEWIS. Loving every woman is simple. Cute with a dimple.
It really is, though. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Loving a woman is simple.
No, every woman.
we are talking about women. We're not talking about girls. We're not talking about women, girls fronting as women, all of that. We're talking about women. We are very simple to love. All we want is another good person in our life. At the end of the day, that's all we want.
That's a deep compliment to dive into. Like, how do you front as a woman? How do you front as a woman?
Pretending like your ass is grown and responsible and you're not.
Pretending like you got your shit together and you don't.
You don't.
Okay.
And some men don't ask enough damn questions.
Yeah. Because I take notes, and you'll see a post up like, "Why y'all be fronting like y'all women out here?"
Stop.
There are a lot of them. That is easy to spot somebody who's fronting as a woman.
Oh, believe me, hey,
you know what to look for.
The questions that come in March. Believe that. Oh, do believe. Oh, do believe. Once we get through February, we go see where the growth has occurred for some people.
I mean, I stand in the middle of all things. Where you can find fault in a woman, you can find fault in a man, because we're all human and we're all subject to that. I've never been one for laying it all on a man, laying it all on a woman. I just lay it on the person, and whatever sex you happen to be really is irrelevant, to me. So I'm all for men, and good men, and good women. That's what I'm trying to surround myself with, and that's what I want in my life, is just a good person.
All right. So it was another good discussion. Like I said, these Thursday nights typically don't be that long, so we then arrived on the hour and a half mark. We're gonna get some closing statements, and we're gonna get out of here. And can't wait to see Monday night with a new assessment. And bring your pen and paper and get ready. And we're gonna self-reflect and about self-love, and we're gonna continue that. So
we ready now. We know how to answer these questions now.
No, you don't. You think you do.
I'm ready.
So we're gonna go with Latoya. What's your closing statement?
Be honest with yourself and others, because nobody likes a liar.
Girl.
Yeah, so cute with y'all little statements.
I sure am, because I'm straight no chaser. I'm always be honest. Right. I might curb or watch how I say it, but I'm always tell you the truth, because I just don't believe in lying.
I like Rebecca's last week. I'm a girly girl. I'm a girly girl. So Rebecca, what's your closing statement?
I am. Again, I come on here sometimes feeling that I have to defend women, but I am really trying to stop doing that, because I realize a lot of these discussions aren't about women. Y'all are talking about girls. Y'all are talking about boys, and so I don't have a problem with that. But I really did enjoy this one. Herb, you still need to send me a picture of your hands, because I just need to go ahead on and pray on them, because I don't know about you.
What do you mean? Are they well manicured?
Nah, they probably are. I have
of
no
course.
doubt. If you're using them like that, they probably are.
I work with the public, so it's incumbent upon me to have hands that look nice.
Sure it is, but it was good.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. You want to see a collection of thongs?
I'm just playing with you, boy. Shut up, please.
I got a collection of thongs underwear. You like some banana hammocks if you want to see them?
Nah, I'm good with that. Unless you got a mask, and a cape, I'm good with that. And I did enjoy tonight's topic, and I actually have to admit that he had some good points tonight that I totally agreed with. And I agree with Latoya, especially for this topic. You have to be true to yourself when it comes to maintaining a relationship, and you have to be honest with your mate, but you don't have to be cruel in order to do that. So, like your sweater, by the way. You look like a little bumblebee.
But Monday night, I'm coming back with the Christmas sweater.
Okay. I'm fixing to put some lights in my hair. I'll be right there with you.
People go like, what the hell he got that on for? I ain't really wearing that. I ain't wearing it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't
I
gonna
don't
do it.
trust you. I don't
No,
trust
I
you.
ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
I don't trust you.
Herb, I already know what yours is, but go ahead and say it because it might be somebody new on here and they may need to hear it.
Growth and understanding occurs in the gray area. Godspeed and see you next time.
And for me,
Absolutely.
it's all I'm gonna say what I say. All of this, as you can see, something as simple as somebody coming home and enjoying his self pleasantries. It leads to so much more. It leads to so many conversations that may not been had that should been had. Like, what's the deal with him and his wife? Why are you doing this? And we don't know. And each situation could be different why a person is doing that. So, but it's nice to throw out everything that came up. And as you see, I was taking notes and I probably, I like to post stuff later. I already got a couple things that Rebecca Girly Girl has said. Like three of the non-negotiables that she won't tolerate.
Non-negotiables. Nope.
Yeah, so it's all good. I enjoy the conversations. I look forward to these conversations on Mondays and Thursdays. It help me grow. It help you learn, and just to see how people what they think. So that being said, everybody be safe. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
All right. Super Bowl Sunday. Let's get some predictions. I don't know if y'all watch football or whatever the case is. Latoya, who you going with?
I don't even know who's playing. I haven't even.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been
Kansas City
following
and
this
Tampa.
kid.
The Bills ain't playing, so I don't care no more. So
So you
Wait,
said you're
who
going with
playing?
Kansas
Tampa
City, and
Bay and
Tampa Bay.
Kansas City. Tom
Tom
Kansas,
Brady
Brady. Tom
versus
Brady plays for Tampa Bay now.
yeah,
Kansas City.
Kansas
yeah.
City.
If anybody, I want to see the young kid win, but
Mahomes.
yeah.
Okay.
The Bills ain't playing, so I no longer care.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. Whatever. It's hard to go against Tom Brady.
I like Tom Brady,
Yeah.
but I'm tired of him. He needs to Giselle need to go ahead on and collect him up.
No,
And
you know what he just said that he could see himself playing well after he's 43 now. They could see himself
she,
playing well after 45. So
I read somewhere that she controls every single aspect of his diet and an interview with him, and which is why his diet is so damn clean that it's disgusting, and I think that's why he's just
Uh-huh.
especially the way he works out, but she controls everything he eats, and I
yeah.
think that that's one of the reasons why he's got so much longevity, and he could probably play if he got a good line. He could probably play for another 2 years. He gonna fuck around and break a bone, and that's what's gonna get him up out of there.
It's gonna have to be some because I'm like, damn, he
Yeah,
looked like a damn kid. He was just
yeah,
on interviews today, like this dude,
yeah,
Mhm.
and it just shows you if you eat right and work
yeah,
out, whatever, how
yeah.
things can work out for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this dude
Yeah.
looked
Well,
like he
you
about
got that type of
25.
money. There's no reason
Yeah.
why he got every resource available to
There's no
him.
reason
But
for him to look any other type of way.
yeah, I mean, but then again, look at her.
Who,
He got to be looking like something standing next to her because they're both equally gorgeous and handsome. So,
who are you talking about?
Tom.
Tom Brady's wife, Giselle.
Well, Brady's ahead of the curve in terms of what he's doing with his physical health. But it's like you said, Rebecca. He has everything sourced, and the thing that I'm learning about what Brady does is somebody has said this, and it really struck home with me because I don't have any kids. So they said he had hired somebody, so he was able to connect culturally with the younger kids that were. Let me not say younger kids. I mean they are, but they're not kids. The younger players that were coming into the locker room, so he was culturally imbalanced with them. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't give him credit for is that he makes it easy to relate to him. I mean, it's sort of like
Oh yeah.
he's the antithesis of what Kobe was in terms of him being likable.
I
Kobe,
mean, but
Kobe,
then again, he's also a legend. What kid coming into the NFL wouldn't want to be his receiver? I mean, come on.
you would be surprised. A lot of people a lot of players, and I can say this from a football perspective, a lot of players don't want to be that type of quarterback's receiver because it takes from them. Case in
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown didn't work out, not because Antonio Brown wasn't a good fit, but Antonio Brown couldn't keep himself clean. But he got out of the element that always got him in trouble, and now he's in Tampa Bay, and you don't hear anything. And I think that's a credit to somebody like Brady saying, hey, look, this is what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Because he's already been at the pinnacle in terms of NFL success as a receiver. He just hasn't been a Super Bowl champion. And now he has that ability. But sometimes we don't realize as younger black men that in order to be in the limelight, you have to stay out of the limelight. And I think that's what Brady is showing him. Is Brady has all this attention, but you don't hear anything about Brady. Even the rumor about Brady fathering another child out of wedlock. Very rarely was that ever spoken of.
That's my first time hearing about it.
My case in point.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting, like, rolling with like-minded people that's successful. Antonio Brown, he's been like at one point he was the best receiver in the game.
Yeah.
Now he has the opportunity on Sunday to win a ring, and all of a sudden now, big money, especially if he becomes a star in that game, big money opens up, and all of a sudden you forget about the bad behavior that he had. So that's
it's like that in it's like that in sports, period. I mean, come on, you bring home a championship and nobody cares that you ran over somebody with your car. So especially here in Texas, they just don't give a damn. They got every crook, thug, and criminal on the Cowboys. They don't care so long as they winning. So I mean, that's
Dallas cleaned up a bit. Dallas doesn't.
They
don't have the players that they did, and I think I think Jerry Jones looked at it and said, okay, you know what? Not only are these bums tarnishing my brand, they're not producing. So it's a difference between tarnishing the brand and producing. Like we can all talk about Michael Lever. Michael Lever might have tarnished the brand, but when Mike got on the field, Mike produced. So you would take the little quips he was having off the field because once he got on the field, it was all business. You have some people that get on the field and they're not about that business. And that's when Jerry's like, okay, you know what? You're not about that business. You got to go. And it's funny when he got rid of those 2 or 3 headaches that were permeating the locker room that were talking trash, you started to see that team turn around. Now, they didn't make the postseason, but you can see a noticeable difference in the effort in the way they played. So it gives, as a Dallas fan, it gives me hope for next year.
Been shit in a long time. Dallas ain't shit.
That's okay. I still rise with them.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you was a fan. My bad. Being down here and seeing it, live and in living color, they haven't had a good draft pick in an excellent draft pick in forever. It's been over 20 years since they've done anything.
You mean a draft class, a draft year?
Yeah. Okay, whatever you call it, but nonetheless, and then you look at Buffalo, who they've been bottom feeding, forever, and they've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get a good draft pick, and they finally got a team that's gelling and look like they might be able to try to do something. It's going to take a long time for Dallas to get back to where they were.
And I might disagree with that. Like Dallas is that type of market that once they start winning and get a winning record, free agents going to want to come there. It also depends on the head coach too.
But it's been 25 years. It's been 25 years.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify something. Dallas is like the Yankees. If they don't win a championship, the season is a failure. Just like the Lakers. If the Lakers don't win this a championship, the season is a failure. Dallas is measured with a different measuring stick than everybody else is in the league. So
they fans don't act like that down here. They could deal with a winning season and not, going to the Super Bowl. Of course, everybody wants to make it there, but this season they just fell apart at the damn seams. I mean, come on, shit was going wrong with them that shouldn't have gone wrong.
No, that's not true.
You can't hold on to a ball. That should not be happening.
Let me ask you this question then. What was the first stumbling block in Dallas's season?
This year?
Yes.
Dak?
No. Try again.
Getting hurt? Him getting
Try
hurt?
again. Try again.
I think it was Dak getting hurt. That's the
difference between being a fan,
defensive coordinator. That's what the hell it was.
Right. The first thing that happened was their center retired. If you lose your all-pro, all-world center, your line starts to suffer. Then they had 3 more linemen going down, so you only have 1 lineman that you started the season with playing. Everybody else was a patchwork. If you can't protect your quarterback and run the ball, you're not going to score points. And that's what happened with Dallas. Dallas offense didn't get in sync until about 8 or 9 games in. By then, they were too gone. They were too far gone. Zeke couldn't run the ball, and everybody talking about how he's washed up. And then they're talking about how the backup, Pollard, came in and would do well. The only difference is Pollard hadn't seen the number of carries that Zeke has seen. And we all know
hadn't been running the ball since the beginning of the season, though. He was fumbling straight out the gate.
Yes, he did. There's absolutely no questions about him being able to hold on to the ball. But his production suffered because he had no line to run behind. If you don't have a line in the NFL to run behind, you're not going to run the ball. I don't care who you are. That line makes you the line for Dallas was the difference between Emmitt Smith being a Hall of Famer and being a good back. He didn't start having to deal with defenders until he got in the secondary a lot of times. This is why he was able to break the runs. The same thing with Zeke. More often than not, defensive linemen never got their hands on him. You, as a running back, you're not running through defensive linemen. They outweigh you by 40, 50 pounds. That's just not going to happen on a carry-to-carry basis. And this is what people don't understand about Dallas. This season was done before they even had a chance to get out. New coaching staff, no OTA, right. no nothing. And then you started throwing in the injuries. Yeah, they were done.
Well, I'm going to say this. Screw Dallas. Screw Buffalo. It's all about Pittsburgh, the Steelers, but I ain't going to get into that.
Oh, is that why you look like a bumblebee?
It's not because of that, because they've been dead under the water this after in the playoffs, so it's not
they
that.
They started out so good. It shocked me to see them fall apart at the seams the way they did, but you know.
Before we close out, what I want to move on is, and I love the concept of it, and I can understand how the branding gonna come apart. If Floyd Mayweather fights 50 Cent, I want to see it. I want to be a part of it, and I hope Floyd knock his ass out.
You think he ain't?
Out. I hope he knocks him out.
How long it's gonna take? I'm trying to figure out how long it's gonna take.
What weight are they going to fight at? That's going to be a huge.
Floyd said he don't care what weight they come in, because 50 said he'd get to like 180. Floyd then fought somebody at 180. Canelo back in the days when Floyd only weighed 140 something. Floyd is a superior athlete that trains, walks around at the same weight all the time, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, whatever. He gonna let 50 get into the later rounds. Then he probably gonna whoop his ass and take it personal with all the stuff that 50 Cent be saying, whatever. That's gonna be entertaining.
I've been looking forward to seeing that.
And people like, oh, that shouldn't happen, all that. Why y'all want to knock these brothers that gonna make like probably a couple $100 million each?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
If you don't kill them.
I know people say, well, don't benefit black people. Like, a lot of stuff don't, but we support it. Me as a boxing person, and just the marketing stuff that's going to come out of that, it's going to be interesting to see.
I'm fixing to support it because I want to see that.
That's going to be interesting.
I absolutely want to see that. So
we'll see how it happened. But Floyd said one of the conditions, winner takes all.
Personally, I think he's going to get his head knocked off.
Who you saying, 50 Cent?
I want to see if he can put his money where his mouth is. He talk all that trash. I want to see if he can really put his money where his mouth is. I think he's gonna get his ass handed to him.
Now, the one thing we know, 50 Cent does, he did grow up boxing and all that, but it ain't the level of Floyd.
About a professional boxer.
Exactly. You're talking about somebody who does it
takes a shot to drop you.
Doing it as a hobby. That's two totally different animals right there.
And that's the thing. He probably banking on like, oh, I'm gonna weigh more if I hit him once, but Floyd still work out every day, 2 or 3
gonna
times a day,
spank that
whatever.
ass like he gave
And,
birth to him.
and his conditioning is probably at a different level.
Fat, so the whole point is you got to catch his ass to land and hit on. I don't know how.
If it's on pay-per-view, I shall be watching that. I'm going to watch it and try to take
we
it.
need to have a watch party for that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I will absolutely watch that. That'll be very entertaining. He should have said that to Mike Tyson, because I'd have watched that shit too.
Yep.
Yeah, that ain't the beast that Floyd want to get into fighting Mike Tyson, whatever.
Yeah.
That is definitely not a beast, because my money is all on Tyson on that one.
Still love him. But watch him fight anybody.
Like, you see him when he oh hell no, nah, buddy.
I be watching some of his little podcasts and stuff, and that when I say that nigga is out there, he is out there. He is out there. So yeah, I'd love to see that. But yes, if you get any info on it, post it so that
I'm always gonna post it. That's I always love the way Floyd brand himself. He's a marketing genius. And I know 50 Cent's another marketing genius. So the back and forth between them and the build up and all that stuff and the history between them, that I mean, I know the white people sitting there salivating like, oh yeah, I hope y'all two get in there and kill each other, whatever, because we're gonna make tons of money.
Everybody get rich. I don't care.
They
I'm
gonna make
watching
tons of money too.
You know, I'm watching that one for sure. So yeah, keep me posted. That's if they actually do it.
They
always talk about it. They always talk about it.
Both of them too. They would sit around and they would probably have a meeting, and when they get in there, because they know, like, yo, dude, unless you got a problem, we both stand to make a couple $100 million off of this. Hey, let's do it. And and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it. Some people don't want to see it, but they like, oh, Floyd retired. Like he's about to be 44 years old.
They ain't saying that about Tom Brady.
Yeah, what 44-year-old man wouldn't want $200 million added to their account over 8 rounds of boxing or whatever the case is? So I'm all for it.
I would almost say he could punch me, but nah, I don't want 200 million that bad.
Can't punch a girly girl. You never want to punch a girly girl.
Yeah, hell no. Hell no. But yeah, that'll be interesting. But
I'll keep y'all posted from the
I'm
always on the boxing sites and checking that stuff out. But we about to get out of here. Like I said, everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And see y'all Monday night. Christmas.
Bye.
Christmas in February. All right, we out. All right, y'all be good.